Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of April. Welcome to our daily COVID-19 task force meeting. Today we're going to start with the numbers, and let's take a look. Here in the state, we went up from 27,058 to 27,869, so a little more than 800. The deaths went up to 867, slowing down. In Pinellas County, we are 632 cases with 18 deaths. I went back and sort of looked at where we were in terms of deaths a week ago, and we were at 16. So you can clearly see over the last 7 days that the number of fatalities, instead of doubling every couple of days, is just increasing by 1 or 2 every week. So that's a really positive indicator that the curve has been broken and that we are, in fact, maybe getting on top of this. In Pasco County, they continue to be really in good shape, 213 with 3 deaths. They have not had a fatality in over 2 weeks. So again, that's a positive sign. You may recall that we track Pasco County because that is the one county that directly abuts Pinellas County. We're fortunate in that the southern half of Pinellas County is separated from Hillsborough County by a vast body of water. And so we tend to be less concerned with what's happening in Hillsborough County. Then in the United States, we jumped from 780,000 to 825,000 Americans stricken with COVID. Travel restrictions are still in place throughout the entire state of Florida. Okay, the other thing I'd like to do today is to talk about the local situation and what the numbers look like here at Regency Oaks, specifically in the IL, the health center, and the assisted living. We currently have 18 residents that we have in quarantine, 11 over at the skilled nursing and 7 here in the independent living. These individuals are in quarantine because they were hospitalized and have been returned to either AL skilled or independent living. They were tested in the hospital and all of them were negative. They had gone to the hospital for reasons other than being suspected of having the virus. It is just our standard protocol to keep all of us safe is if you go to the hospital, whether it's for a fracture, a fall, a cardiac issue, when you come back to the community, we're going to quarantine you to ensure that you are safe and that you are not exposing others to the potential of the virus. So we continue to monitor those, and individuals are coming in and out of quarantine all the time. We have 1 staff member that is in quarantine for showing flu-like symptoms. They have been tested. We have not received results, which is pretty typical. This individual was tested several days ago, and the way this works is if you're positive, you know pretty quickly. If it's negative, they're so busy that they don't necessarily get back to you right away. So that 1 staff member is currently in quarantine. In terms of existing IL, skilled and assisted living residents that are showing flu-like symptoms, we currently have no one that we are tracking. One of the things that we really did well that has helped us stay on top of the cross-contamination and infection rates here in the building is developing that temperature log that we are able to monitor. I keep telling Sherry she should patent her formula. She went into an Excel spreadsheet and was able to build a formula that monitors increases in temperature over consecutive logins. And so that gives us an early alert to when we potentially might have an existing problem. That has really been an important tool in helping us to fight and stay on top of the spread of this virus. In terms of our COVID residents and associates, we are still at 0 associates and 1 resident. That resident, you've heard me refer to him as resident 0. That individual is currently in the hospital. He is in day 12 of his exposure and is doing well. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. We are anticipating a recovery, and all his the vitals that they track and monitor are looking good. So at some point we anticipate that he will return to Regency Oaks and be well. So those are our numbers right now. They look really good. I'm so proud of the job this team has done and all the residents in terms of social distancing and practicing good sanitation and personal hygiene. It's really made a difference. There are communities out there, some I'm sure you're aware of St. Mark's, where they have a number of cases. You can look at the number of nursing homes across Florida that are dealing with COVID-19 and really struggling to contain it. We've done a great job, and we could not have done it without the strong support of the residents who are really tolerant in putting up with these restrictions that have been put in place, and we're so appreciative of your support. So one of the things I thought we'd do this morning, this is a sort of a fun human interest piece. This came from Mrs. Twait, and it was such a inspiring little poem and some great pictures to support it. But the title of the poem is called History Repeats Itself. And it came across in 1869 and was reprinted in the 1919 pandemic. So I'm going to share that with you, and want to thank Ms. Twait for sharing it with me. And people stayed at home and read books and listened, and they rested and did exercises and made art and played and learned new ways of being and stopped and listened. Listened more deeply. Someone meditated, someone prayed, someone met their shadow, and people began to think differently, and people healed. And in the absence of people who lived in ignorant ways, dangerous, meaningless, and heartless, the earth also began to heal. And when the danger ended and people found themselves, they grieved for the dead, they made new choices and dreamed of new visions and created new ways of living and completely healed the earth, just as they were healed themselves. So we thought that was timely to share that with you today. This is Earth Day, and what a great way to remind ourselves that there's a cleansing and that there are changes that will come from this pandemic, and it will change all of us, but it's all for the better, and we're going to come out on the other side stronger and together. Have a great day. We'll see you on Friday.
Hello everybody, Jesse Rosalie, a housekeeping director. Just want to go over a new concept that we're bringing to the property for you guys to use. We have our Lysol chemical. This is only going to be for your toilet areas for cleaning. We will also offer the soft scrub in this caddy as well. This you can actually use in any of the surfaces in your kitchen, bathroom, any areas, even your stove if you want to use it. However, be careful with the stove. We're going to give you also a sponge. There's a rough side of it and there's a softer part of it. So you want to use the softer part on the stovetop. All right, but this is the chemical to use for all purpose, pretty much everything on your counters. and also your kitchen. You also are going to be provided with a mold and stain remover, mildew remover. You're going to use this in your tubs or in your showers, anywhere around. Let it sit for about 5 minutes and then rinse it off and clean it off. In this kit also, you're going to have gloves, medium gloves for your use. So I would highly suggest to put these on as soon as you start operating this kit. You also have the sponge that I was talking about. You have the softer side, which is the yellow, and you have the green side, which is the roughest part of the sponge. You will also be provided with 3 microfiber rags. Each one of these rags you can utilize for anything, tub, countertops, on any chemicals. I highly suggest for you not to mix these chemicals. Use 1 rag per chemical if possible. The sponge you can just rinse off and you can utilize again. You will also be provided with microfiber pads for your mops and an actual mop as well. One of the microfiber mop pads is going to have already a solution, a floor cleaning solution in there. So this is why it is in this bag. So it will already have that solution that you're going to need to just simply put on the floor, start mopping your floor, and then you want to use these. You want to take this one off from the pad and use these 2 to dry off your floor, please. At the end, you can utilize this big bag to put all the rags that you use and all the mop pads that you utilize. You can simply put everything in here and we'll be able to take it from there and pick it up once you utilize it. We're asking that you limit the use of this kit for at least a maximum of 1 hour and call me once you have it available so I can have someone pick it up. In addition to that, you have some instructions per chemical. Here you have where the chemical can be utilized, and on the back you're going to have directions on how to use it. Should you need to look into further details about the chemicals, right on the bottom here, it tells you that the safety data sheet is located on the first floor on every building in the mail room. You're gonna see a sign, and if you wanna look further into the chemicals and what they have, you could actually go downstairs and check it out, okay? Thank you again for doing this, and if you need anything else, feel free to call me, okay? This kit is actually free, so you're not gonna get charged for anything. You'll just have a time limitation on when you can use it. Of course, it's going to be prior to your service day, so I encourage you to call me the day prior so that I can arrange someone to deliver this to you. Thank you again and have a great day.